Today, we are diving into a text that honestly feels less like a story and more like a diagnosis for our times. It argues that the old myths, the old journeys just won't cut it anymore because, as it says, the fire today asks for your flesh. And nope, that's not a metaphor, it means your actual flesh. Okay, let's get into this.
You know the classic hero's journey, right? The one Joseph Campbell mapped out? The hero goes on an adventure, slays a dragon, and comes back home, crossing a stable threshold to deliver a gift, a boon, to his people. But what happens when that idea of home, that stable world to return to, is just gone? This quote gets right to the heart of it. The old maps are useless because the ground is literally shifting beneath our feet.
And this is the reality we're being shown here. It's not just unstable, it's actively burning. The village is flooding. The elders? They're completely mesmerized by little glowing rectangles in their hands. The world the hero was supposed to save is in a total state of crisis. And that sets the stage for a completely new kind of journey, one that is definitely not about going back to the way things used to be.
So, if the threshold is on fire, what's the point? What's the goal? Well, it's not about finding some prize to win. The source we're looking at suggests something else entirely. It's called embodied meaning. And get this, it's not a jewel you carry home in your pocket. It's the heat you have to become so that a home can even exist again somewhere. It's a huge shift from getting something to being something.
Right. Every hero needs a dragon to fight. But our dragon today, it's not some scaly beast breathing fire. It's way more subtle, way more pervasive. This text gives it a name, the hollowing. So, let's take a look at what that actually means.
So this new dragon, it's actually two forces working together perfectly. On one hand, you've got the external crisis, climate collapse. It is literally melting the physical world around us. And on the other hand, you have the internal crisis, digital anesthesia. It melts our ability to even notice, to feel, to respond to what's happening. So one force destroys reality, and the other one destroys our connection to reality. See how that works? It's brutal.
The text really wants us to feel this, not just think about it. So imagine this, like it's the first panel of a comic. You're lying there, and the cold blue light from your phone is just seeping across your ribs like frost. It's an image of how this technology is physically changing us, putting us out of sync with anything that's actually alive.
And then, in the next panel, that single light just shatters. It explodes into the endless scroll, right? A waterfall of 1,000 faces, 1,000 bits of information. But none of them are real, none of them are breathing. It's a perfect illustration of how our attention gets fragmented. We're pulled out of our own single, breathing body and scattered into 1,000 digital ghosts. And here is the real danger of the hollowing. It's not about a quick, clean death. It's this slow, quiet undeath. It's about becoming a spectator in your own life. You become this eloquent ghost who can write beautifully about the apocalypse, who can analyze it from every angle. But your own nervous system has already checked out. It's already unsubscribed from the real world.
So how in the world do you fight something like the hollowing? How do you stop yourself from becoming one of those eloquent ghosts? The source offers a new archetype, born from the ashes of the old ones. It's not just another mask to put on, it's a whole new way of being. It's called the flesh forger.
A flesh forger doesn't try to transcend the body, to escape the messy reality of being human. They do the exact opposite. They dive deeper into it. They take meaning, which usually just floats around as an idea, and they hammer it down deep into their own bone marrow until it's not separate from them anymore. It is their every move, their every breath, their every choice. And this isn't just some nice poetry. It comes with tools. The hammer of the flesh forger is pure focused attention that you have to drag back from the endless digital scroll and nail, sometimes painfully, right here to this moment. And the anvil? Well, the anvil is your own body, your actual physical ribcage, feeling the grief, the cold, the hunger, or just the simple joy of the sun on your skin.
And that really brings us to the core choice, doesn't it? The seamless mirror of the digital world offers a kind of perfect, clean existence, like being a god without any of the messy stuff, without glands or hormones. The path of the flesh forger offers the opposite, not perfection, but mortality, not transcendence, but a real, mortal life with fire in it. Okay, so we have the archetype, the flesh forger, but how do you actually do that? How do you practice it? Well, the source gives us a really concrete ritual, something you can do anywhere. It's called the ritual of the 3 anchors.
This is a deeply physical thing.
So first, you anchor yourself in the world's pain. You speak your grief out loud, and then you actually feel where it lands in your body. Second, you anchor against that digital pole by naming it and then physically tensing every muscle in your body, reclaiming your physical self. Third, you anchor yourself in action. You make a vow to do one small, meaningful thing tomorrow. And finally, you fuse them all together with a roar. Not for show, but a real guttural sound from your very core.
Now, this whole journey, it is not meant to be a solo mission. The source is very clear about this. No lone hero survives the hollowing. So, a new kind of community is needed, one that's small, honest, and totally grounded. It's called the Rooted Hearth. The rules for a rooted hearth are super specific, and they're all designed to directly fight the hollowing. Keeping it small ensures honesty. Banning devices, well, that creates a sacred embodied space. The real fire is a primal anchor, and the process is key. Each person shares one living wound and one living act. And the group's job is not to give advice, not to fix anything. Their only job is to witness with their bodies. These aren't support groups. They're forges where meaning is hammered out together.
So, as we start to wind down, we get to the final, crucial point. This is not about reaching some state of enlightenment and then poof, you're done. No, becoming a flesh forger isn't a destination you arrive at. It is a daily, constant, ongoing practice.
And this is the real boon. This is the gift of this new journey. It is not some warm, fuzzy feeling of inspiration that's going to last forever. No, it's the terrifying, demanding knowledge that meaning is like a fire. You have to tend to it every single day. If you don't actively re-embody it, it just goes out. The hollowing is always, always whispering at the door.
And that brings us right here, to this final challenge. It's a direct call to action, to choose mortality with fire in it, to choose the anvil of your own ribcage, to choose this difficult daily practice. And the urgency is real. Make this choice before the systems we've built, before the forces of the hollowing engineer the very capacity to choose right out of you.
And so we end here. The ultimate point of all this is that the dragon, the hollowing, it doesn't give you a prize for beating it. The trial itself is what transforms you. It turns the seeker into the very place where the boon, where meaning can actually live. And that place? It's not some mythical kingdom or a saved village. That place is your body. Keep it warm.